truth is not created by humans. The truth already exists whether we understand it or not. Only God has the truth. And the truth can be given to us only by His own revelation. We can only understand the truth as much as God reveals. That is why we must always be humble before the truth. In the beginning, God had the ideal of true parents. It means God's dream of becoming true parents, and it was God's purpose of creation. To realize His ideal, God created only one man and one woman, a son and a daughter. But, unfortunately, they fell during their growing period. 4,000 years have passed, Jesus came to the earth. However, He died on the cross without becoming true parents. And 2,000 years later, true father and true mother came to the earth and became true parents. Through this, God's ideal of true parents was realized for the first time in the whole history. And all fallen people, descendants of Adam and Eve, can be saved by true parents. Therefore, the first providence, called the providence of creation, that God wanted to accomplish through Adam and Eve, ended completely because of their fall. They can no longer be called only begotten son and daughters, and have also lost the name as the first ancestors. Since the first providence collapsed, whole providences developed after that are the second providence, called the providence of recreation. And that is also called the providence of restoration. This is the most basic theory of divine principle, as you know. This principle itself is never changed. When we distinguish it from several types of perspectives, even if they are slightly different from each other, this unchangeable diagram will continue to be used in common. Now, let's focus on God's viewpoint, and pay attention to the difference of point of view. God proceeds with the providence in such a way that He sends His child who has the original lineage from heaven to the earth. In the providence of recreation, God sent Jesus to the earth as the first Messiah, but God's will was not fulfilled then. After that, God sent true Father as the second Messiah. And if one woman who can become the bride of the wedding supper of the Lamb has to be chosen by the second Messiah, then they can become the true parents. This is the paradigm we all had in the past, at least before the proclamation of the Foundation Day. I will call it Paradigm A. However, after the Foundation Day, True Mother started talking about the only begotten daughter, and since then, she has been repeatedly emphasizing the only begotten daughter. So we thought that, aha, God sent the first and second Messiah, but in fact, True Mother was also sent by God even if we didn't know it before. Perhaps most of our members understand like this way. I will call it Paradigm B. Now, however, when we listened to True Mother's words a little more carefully, we started to see another aspect. God sends only one man and one woman, in other words, one son and one daughter. A man sent by God is Jesus, who came 2,000 years ago, and a woman sent by God is True Mother, who came in 1943. Because God already sent His Son 2,000 years ago, He does not send His Son again. He cannot send and does not need to send again. Because the position of the only begotten Son, the foundation that Jesus was born and grew up 2,000 years ago, intactly remains. Therefore, Jesus just has to hand over His position and His mission to the most appropriate person. The word, the second coming, is originally such a concept. In that sense, God's biggest concern after Jesus was not the second coming of Jesus, but the first coming of the only begotten daughter. This is Paradigm C based on the recent words of True Mother. Among these three types of paradigm, I want to ask you to consider seriously about which one is the truth, which one is the most principled. Let me explain a little more in order to help your considering. When we look at paradigm A, we can see that it is definitely male-centered. In this paradigm, women are like accessories for men. Then what about paradigm B? This paradigm is ignoring the foundation of Jesus as the only begotten Son. Of course, Jesus could not be true parents, but he did not fall unlike Adam and Eve. So his status as the only begotten Son has not been damaged. Furthermore, in this paradigm, we can see that God sent 2 sons and 1 daughter. When we say Dogsingja Dogsingnyo in Korean, the first Chinese character dog means only one. The rule that God creates only 1 son and only 1 daughter applies to both the providence of creation and recreation. This concept is exactly described in paradigm C. If we choose paradigm C, is the status of true parents, true father and true mother, going down? The answer is no. When you see both true mother as the first coming and true father as the second coming, they are firmly our true parents. I want to ask you once again. Please consider which one is the truth. Which one is the most principled, among the 3 types of paradigm? Thank you very much.